This could change everything for the Chicago Bulls. We're going to be talking about if it was a good decision to sign Patrick Williams to the possibility of him reaching his ceiling, or should the Chicago Bulls have let him go in restricted free agency. This is your host, Rico Greenhowe. This is another episode of Bulls Digest. And before we jump into the hot topic of the day, want to go ahead and share a special message from the sponsor of today's video, NordVPN. Hopefully the Chicago Bulls can get a clearer plan and move the franchise forward. Unlike the Chicago Bulls, you can have a plan when it comes to protecting your devices from online threats. That's right. The best way to do this is with NordVPN, which you can get by clicking the link in the description to this video. With NordVPN Threat Protection Pro, you can block against fake websites, against phishing, and other fraud and other scams online. That's right. You can go ahead and protect your Wi-Fi from being compromised with a single click. You can encrypt and defend your virtual private network. Make sure that you go ahead and you improve your security and block pop-ups. And once again, you can go ahead and get this with nordvpn.com/bulls. This is an exclusive offer where you get 4 months of extra service along with Nord's risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. All right, so did the Chicago Bulls do the correct thing as far as investing into Patrick Williams and the possibility of him getting to his ceiling? So we're going into a Bleacher Nation report, and it is a mailbag of topics that the writer essentially answers. And in this particular piece, they're talking about the potential of Patrick Williams and if it was a good sign to go ahead and sign Patrick Williams. And so here's what this particular author had to say. And so he was essentially saying that he thinks that it is okay right now signing Patrick Williams to the $18 million deal because the salary caps are going to go up, and this type of deal might be a steal considering that Patrick Williams does get to his ceiling. But right now, if you look at it, at 10 points a game and 5 rebounds a game, it does not seem like a good sign. All right, so I think that that is absolutely spot on. I think that the Chicago Bulls really signed him to this whole thing of him getting to his potential. I absolutely think that, and I have to think that the front office does not want to fail on Patrick Williams, all right? And so I think that that is absolutely one of the main reasons why they went ahead and did this deal. It's really kind of interesting to me because it looks like that they might be thinking ahead in the future for if it does work out, then it's going to work out in the Chicago Bulls' favor, a lot like how it's worked out with Kobe White and Nasumu. They're on team-friendly deals. I mean, essentially, that's what the Patrick Williams deal could turn into. But the key aspect is that Patrick Williams must get to that ceiling or close to that potential. And so I love the fact that they went ahead and they compared the Chicago Bulls situation to the Cleveland Cavaliers situation. And they're talking about Issac Okoro. All right. And so right now, if you're not familiar with that situation, the Cleveland Cavaliers did not go ahead and sign Issac Okoro to a huge deal. They just have his qualifying offer out there, and I believe it is $11 million for 1 season. All right, and so it looks like he's betting on himself, and the Cavs were betting on the fact that there was really not a big market for him, and so they were just comparing Patrick Williams and Okoro, and they're wondering, like, should the Chicago Bulls have done this? And I'm like, I think that you probably would have had more of a market for Patrick Williams, even though Issac Okoro has done very well for the Cleveland Cavaliers. I just think the upside for Patrick Williams and the fact that he actually has some better numbers than Issac Okoro. So that really, I think, adds the element of, I don't know if the Chicago Bulls really wanted to play hardball. I think that they probably would have lost Patrick Williams. Do I think that they maybe overbid it for Patrick Williams? Perhaps, maybe they did. I mean, we'll never know because the Chicago Bulls didn't even let it get that far. But I think it's interesting that they do a comparison. All right. And so moving forward, just looking at the draft class with Patrick Williams. All right. And so you have LaMelo Ball, you have Anthony Edwards, you have Halliburton. They've all gotten some big extensions, $260 million in 2023 for these players. They talk about Obi Toppin, who just signed a $60 million deal. You have Tyrese Maxey, who just signed. You have Emmanuel Quickley. And so they even talk about Peyton Pritchard. And so this just really shows you that, the Chicago Bulls are really banking on Patrick Williams getting to his potential, even if it is later. They're kind of, I think, thinking that they can get the same thing similar to what they've gotten with Kobe White. And I mean, it is going to be huge if Patrick Williams does get there. And that's a big if. And I think it's interesting when you look at this draft class as well that Patrick Williams was in, that, these are some of the players. All right. And so, I wonder what would have happened if the Chicago Bulls would have taken Devin Vassell or if they would have taken Tyrese Halliburton earlier. We'll never know about that, but this is the order in which, Patrick Williams was drafted in by the Chicago Bulls. And so, this just kind of lets you know essentially what the rest of his draft class has done. It looks like that they've already essentially gone out there and proven that they should get a big contract. And so it looks like that, in my opinion, that Patrick Williams is on a prove-it deal to me. And I think for Patrick Williams to take that next leap, I think he's going to have to turn into a performer that at least shows up for about 70% of his games, or not 70% of his games, excuse me. He plays in 70 games per year. I'm sorry. So 70 games per year. And he also ups his scoring average to at least 16 to 18 points a game. I'm hoping that he can continue to rebound at a high clip. Right now, he's at 4 or 5 rebounds. I'd love to see him at anywhere from 8 to 10 rebounds a game and a couple assists a game. I think that with this contract, if the Chicago Bulls are looking at his ceiling, then he's going to become a very good role player in this league. And he reminds me of a player that the Chicago Bulls once had, and I think that he could really get to this potential. And to be fair, he's actually got some better shooting percentages than this player that was very successful for us in the past. And I am talking about Luol Deng. All right. So I think that when you look at what Luol Deng was able to do in his career with the Chicago Bulls, you're seeing right here in one of his most successful years, he averaged 17 points a game. He averaged about 6 rebounds a game, 2.8 assists a game. And then he also played in 82 games. But look at the shooting percentage right there at 34% from downtown. He was right around 50% from the 2-point land as well. So then when you look at Patrick Williams in comparison to what he had been able to do, taking a look at his numbers, right now, you're seeing that he's shooting about 39% from downtown. He shot upward to about 51% when he really had it clicking. But look at the 2-point percentage, right? So he's right around 50 when he started off. He's right around 47 right now, and that's with him missing some games. So I think there's a lot of evidence that really shows you that Patrick Williams could possibly get to the ceiling. And look, he doesn't have DeMar DeRozan in his way at this point in time. He doesn't have Alex Caruso in his way. And at some point, he's not going to have Zach Lavine in his way. And so I think that, for the people out there who have said that, well, he's had some people in his way, I don't think that he's going to have those excuses. And I think it is time for Patrick Williams to really show up. So let me know in the comments, do you think that Patrick Williams can be Luol Deng type of player as far as a role player for the Chicago Bulls? Do you think the Chicago Bulls should have played hardball in restricted free agency like the Cleveland Cavaliers did with Issac Okoro? Or do you feel like, look, it doesn't matter at all. Patrick Williams is not going to reach his potential, and the Chicago Bulls simply should have just let him go to a random team in restricted free agency? Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. And before we jump out of here, I just want to thank you out there for watching the videos and commenting on the videos, and let you know that 72.1% of you that watch the videos are not subscribed to the channel. Please continue to keep dunking on that subscribe button, as it means a lot to me here as we try to reach our goal of 5,000 subscribers before the NBA season starts. And even though we are still talking about Patrick Williams and if he can get to his ceiling, I'm still saying go Bulls. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace. Peace.